Hello everyone, welcome to a video about an incredible solo played by Jonathan Kreisberg on the standard Out of Nowhere. I transcribed one full chorus, you just saw a performance of that chorus, and let's take a look at some of those crazy cool licks. Of course, as you all know, Jonathan Kreisberg is one of the top jazz guitar players currently alive, and he found a perfect balance in his solos between virtuosity and creativity. So let's take a look at this chorus and start with phrase number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Three, 4, 1. This is a very interesting pickup after playing the theme. The song ends on the 1 chord, the G, and you can play D7 back to the 1 chord, the first chord of the chorus. So he starts by playing a major triad on G, just the 1 chord in a triad, shifting it up to a B flat triad, and then a linear phrase, and then going down. That sounds to C minor to me, resolving to the major third of G. So the G major triad of course speaks for itself. Now that B flat triad, if you play a B flat triad on top of a D7 chord, you get that flat 13, that B flat. You get the F, which is the sharp 9. So you get an altered sound, an altered D7 sound. So playing 1, altered D7. Now a scalar line up to this B flat, then you play. That sounds to me like C minor, right? C minor 7. And if you play a C minor sound on top of D7, you get this sound, which is a D7 sus flat 9. So that's another flavor of altered. First you get this B flat major flavor, and then you get this C minor flavor. That's a lot of interesting colors to resolve back to the 1 chord, G, ending on the 3rd of G. Now I'm using the same fingerings as Jonathan Kreisberg in the video, starting on the 5th fret and then sliding your hand up. But I could also imagine playing it like this. So then you need less frets so you can play it in other keys. For example, you might want to play it in the key of D. So now you can still play it if you use that alternate fingering. Because otherwise you wouldn't have enough frets. Let's go to phrase number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. This is based around a simple motive suggesting B minor. That sounds like B minor to me. And if you play B minor on top of G, because the chord is G here, you are emphasizing the major 7. Another advantage of using B minor here is that when the chord changes to B flat minor 7, E flat 7, or some people just play E flat 7, you can just shift it back a fret and then you play B flat minor, which of course fits very well on B flat minor 7 or on E flat 7. And this is also a B flat minor lick. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. This starts with the same motive again, but in a slightly different rhythm, with some triplets in there. And this very lyrical, simple but lyrical ending with a vocal quality. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. This is where the fireworks start. Very virtuosic lick. It's not as difficult as it sounds, but it's certainly not easy. The idea is to play an F minor triad on top of E7. So you get the flat 13, that's a third, and the flat 9, so it's altered. It starts with moving chromatically from an E to a C. And now playing an F minor triad, but not just a plain triad, but just adding an extra note makes it more melodic. Also easier to play. And then the same thing an octave lower. And then this great melodic phrase for E7 or A minor even. There's a lot of stuff in this phrase, and I would advise just practicing it verbatim and focus first on the technical part of it, the technical aspect of it, and the timing aspect. Now, I cheat a little bit in the video. I skip a note. I play... And now I don't play. I play... The reason I do that is because of my picking style, which is gypsy jazz picking. The lick is so fast that to play... There's a lot of downstrokes in a row. It is certainly possible. But it messes a little bit with the timing to get that perfect every time. So I just skipped one note to make it easier for myself. So I have an upstroke there, which normally I would have a downstroke otherwise. Up. Here we have an augmented triad. Now, of course, the vibratos I'm doing in the performance, Jonathan Kreisberg is not doing the vibratos. I'm doing that because I'm a gypsy jazz guitar player and I can leave it out, but I thought it was kind of funny to do that. And also, it sounds nice. Make sure that you don't rush this lick, which is very difficult. So practice with a metronome very slowly. I have a metronome system to practice phrases like this. Check it out. There's a link to that exercise in the description. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is a very smart lick for E flat 7. Of course, at E flat 7, most people would play this kind of sound, the sharp 11 sound at A. That kind of sound, and that's what Jonathan Kreisberg is also doing by playing these diatonic triads. So you start with A minor triad from the previous chord, then there's a B flat minor triad, C minor triad, and then there's, so you get this D flat augmented triad, so there's this A in it. An E flat triad and an F triad, again with that A. So these are all triads that you will find in a B flat minor melodic scale. You could think about the scale, but you could also just practice these triads on a minor chord. So in this case, it's B flat minor. So if you want to play it on, let's say, G minor, it would be like that. Let's go to the next phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Three, 4, 1. A great 2-5-1 lick, mostly consisting of 16th notes, but you could just take those 16th notes and play them in 8th note lines if the song is faster, and use them in different places. It starts with a typical bebop phrase for D7. Of course, the chord is A minor, but A minor and D7 only is one note difference if you play it like this. Right, that G becomes F sharp. So you can play the same kind of thing. So this is a bebop phrase for D7 or A minor. Now I play those slides, and Jonathan Kreisberg is not playing slides mostly. He's mostly alternate picking everything. But I like the slides, but you could play them with less slides if you want to. So in the video I'm playing slide, slide, slide. But you could also do slide and now play. So then it becomes 3, 4, 1. Maybe that's a clearer sound, but those slides are nice, especially when you would play the lick in 8th notes. So that by itself is a great lick that you can play on a regular 2-5-1 if you would just play it in 8th notes. For example, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. And then the second part, you get this A flat major triad. And if you play an A flat major triad on top of D7, you get the flat fifth there, and you get the flat 9. So that's another way to play an altered sound, right? You could play that A flat major triad or the B flat major triad, both on D7. It's the difference between and different sound, but the same kind of idea, an altered idea. And that by itself, if you play it in 8th notes, could be part of a 2-5-1. You could play it in the second bar. So the first bar you play something else. Maybe you could play something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, this complete phrase, consisting of 2 bars of 16 notes, can be used in 8th notes and you have 2 licks, right? Or if the tempo is slow, you could just play those 16ths. That was it for this video. Of course, there's a second half to the solo, and I'll make another video going lick by lick, phrase by phrase, in a special video exclusively for my patrons over on patreon.com. So if you want to see that video, take a look at my Patreon. There's several tiers. If you join at the lowest tier, which is €5 per month, you get access to the tab that you saw on screen today and the tab to many other videos. And if you join at the €10 tier, you will get access to that exclusive second video and also to many other exclusive videos and of course all the tabs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!